So today I am doing another episode of Tea with Soph, if you haven't already guessed by the title. Today I am going to be, oh my god, Today I'm going to be talking about something that is very relevant to me currently in life, and probably relevant to you guys as well, who are watching, because it's not really an uncommon thing. So, if you've got your cup of tea ready, then yeah, let's start. So, I have been driving for the past, I don't know, what month are we in? May? May, oh my god, okay, so it's my birthday this month. Just saying. Send my cards in the post. I started my driving lessons last September, I think it was, September 2014. So I've been doing them for what, like 6 months now, maybe more. September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. 8 months. Shit. Safe to say, I'm poor because of it. But yeah, I'm not great at driving, evidently. I think I've had about 50 hours worth of lessons. I'm crap, basically, and I'm surprised I have not killed anyone yet. My death toll is 0. Touch wood. But on Monday, I took my theory test. Now, my driving instructor had been telling me to take my theory test for a while because he thinks I'm like ready for my actual test. I do not, and I do not want to. I never, you know, sat down and thought, yes, theory, let's revise, woohoo, because who thinks that? I have knowledge, I have common knowledge, I have common sense. Not much of it, but I have some. And that test was not fun. It was not. My theory test was booked for Monday the 27th of April at 4:30 in the afternoon. Now, I don't finish college till 4:30, but I was like, yeah, it's fine, cool, I'll be able to get out early, you know, it'll be fine and dandy. The test centre, in comparison to my college, is about 25 minutes away. So, my parents are meant to come pick me up at 5 to 4, thinking, yeah, that's cool, that's fine, we've got 35 minutes to get there, fabulous. They arrive at 4:05. I'm like, okay, cool, still, you know, 25 minutes to get there. It's fine, I'll be there on time if we floor it down the motorway and break a few speeding rules. Yeah. They pick me up 4:05. I decide then, at that point, half an hour, less than 25 minutes before my test, to check the email and make sure I've not got to be there any earlier. And I find the email from the DVLA, whatever. Find the email from them. You have booked your test for blah 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 blah. Please arrive 15 minutes before your test. Oh, that's good, because we're actually 25 minutes away, and you know, it's 25 minutes until my test. So yeah. Think you'll find, mate, I'm gonna be late. If you fail to like turn up or are late, you will automatically fail and lose your fee. So I think, shit, I've spent 25 quid on this, mate. You know, I ain't losing that anytime soon. You can, I'll go in there with, you know, all guns blazing, and yeah, if you say no to me. Anyway, so we've established I was technically late for my test. So we're on we're driving to the test centre, and yeah, I'm, you know, like, my dad's blooming going as fast as he can without breaking any laws or killing any pedestrians. So yeah, so I've got the sat nav to make sure we are going to the right test centre. I'm sitting in the back with the sat nav. Bloody dad's phone is on like 7%. So my dad's phone is like 10%, 9%. 8%. At one point, it was on like 25% at first when he first gave it me, and then it blooming jumped from like 25% to like 16%, and I was like, how can you do that? That is not the laws of physics. That is just some kind of somebody in the world does not want me to take my test. And then my mum's like, come on, we need to get there, and every red light goes red. Makes sense. Every traffic light goes red, and we have to stop, and it's like, oh my god, shit, and then it's like, oh my god, which way do we go? We get closer to the destination, and it's like, okay, cool, right, so we've got about 2 minutes until I've actually got to be in there taking my test. 2 minutes! It's 2 minutes before my test starts that we pull in. Actually, I think it's less than 2 minutes, probably like 1:58. We pull in to the car park of the test centre. I'm like, which door is it that I go in? Father, tell me. I have no idea. My dad doesn't know. He's been here like once before in his life. He reads the signs because he's cleverer than me. He reads the signs. The massive, huge sign that says test centre. If I would have read that, then I would have known that that was the door that I go through. So I go through the door. I run into the test centre. Can I please take my test? Because technically, I've paid you for it, so, you know. I'm stopped in my tracks by a massive triangular sign that says something along the lines of, wait here, no one besides testes. People sitting their test. No one but people sitting their test beyond this point. So I stop and I wait. The other fella who's standing at the desk taking things out of his pockets, he moves to the side and starts putting things in a locker. So I am summoned towards the desk, and there sits a little old man, bless him, and I say, I'm so sorry, I'm here for my theory test. I know I'm late, but I've had a big dilemma with my dad's car and it's just broken down, and like we've had to have my mum's car, but then he got let out late from work, so they picked me up late, and then I didn't realise at the time I had to be here, and he just basically looked through me and said, have you got your driving licence? I then shit myself because I thought, have I got my driving licence? I was like, no, I don't have a driving licence. I don't own a driving licence yet because I cannot drive. However, what he actually meant was, have you got your provisional licence? So I got my provisional licence out. It was it's still in the envelope that I got for my birthday. Last year I got my provisional for my 17th birthday. How old am I? 17. Yeah, for my 17th birthday off my parents. On the front of the envelope it says like, happy birthday, Soph, from mum and dad. So it was a bloody good job that this like reception man wasn't hot, because that's bloody embarrassing. It looks like very inconvenienced by the fact he's got to take it out, and I was like, oh shit, I'm stalling him even more. He didn't like me because I'm like 20 minutes late. So he takes out my provisional licence. He looks at it. He has a fucking snigger at the 7-year-old passport photo that's on it. I don't look like me, I look like a fetus. That could have been taken when I was in my mum's bloody womb. So he texts it out and whatever, and he says, can you confirm the first line of your address for me? I was like, yeah, I can do that. That's not that hard. I can actually do that. Is this one of the questions on the test? Am I getting marked on this? So obviously I tells him my address, and he's like, okay, brilliant, thank you. He gives me a locker key. This wasn't just any locker key though. This was this was a locker key. This was like this was basically a plank of wood with a key on the end. Don't know why that was so excessive. Kind of thought, why have you cut down a forest to stick on the end of the key? You could just have given me the key, which was this big, and then the end of it was this big, and I was like, okay, I won't say anything because you already don't like me because I'm late. No, so I shimmied down and undid my locker, put all my stuff in, put in my little lucky charm. Not like the cereal, like it's a pig, but it's our family's little lucky charm. That sounds pretty bent. Yeah. Anyway, Lucky Pig is what he's called, bless his little cottons, and he's done well for us over the years. I'm going to stop doing that hand gesture. He says, empty everything out your pockets. So I think, can I take Lucky Pig in, or can I not take Lucky Pig in? So I leave Lucky Pig in my locker, give him a little kiss, I'm like, love you, Lucky Pig, thanks for the look and stuff. So I put him in my locker, lock it with my massive over-excessive key, and walk through into the room that he points me through into the room. This is not a gun, this is my locker key. Then there's two women sitting behind a kind of like glass, there's like a glass window, and they're sitting there with a computer. There's two blonde ladies, and I don't know why they were blonde was relevant, but it was. And they're like just sitting, and then through the window is little booths with little people doing little tests for little, so I sit. And she says, okay, so you're taking your test for car today. I was like, that's the second time someone's asked me that. Like, can't you just say, yeah, this one's for car? So, I say yes, obviously. I was tempted to say no. I'm actually taking it for motorbikes because I ride them. But then I would have just wasted £25 and an hour of my life. So, yeah, she takes my locker key and my driving licence off me. asks me to stand up, so I stand up. She says, okay, so you've got no pockets on the front there. I was like, no, well done. You observed that quite well. Are you being tested as well? It's quite obvious that I've got no pockets on the front of my jeans. So she says, can you turn around? I was like, I can indeed. I turned around. I had 2 packets on I had 2 packets on the back. 2 pockets on the back of my jeans. She said, can you put your hands in your pockets? I was like, I think that I can do that. Is this hazard perception? Yes, so I put my hands in my back pockets. Obviously I've got nothing in there. Then she says, can you lift your hair up? I'm like, that is something I can do as well. So I lift up my hair. I have to turn my head from side to side so she can check that I've not got any kind of like secret agent spy gadget earpieces in, which I thought was pretty cool. I would have loved to have just like rocked up with one of them just for like the bands and just been like, oh no, hold on, I'm getting a call from my master saying I've got a mission and I need to go and complete that. Alonzi. So she checks my ears to make sure I've got no kind of secret gadgets and like my dad's not sitting in the parking lot like telling me all the answers. She didn't look deep enough obviously because I actually did have one in each ear, but she didn't notice them. That was a joke. So she says okay and gives me back my licence and my fucking tree trunk and sends me through. She says, okay, that's booth number 15. Okay. So I walk in. Look at all the people. I try not to look at them too much because I think they might think I'm cheating if I do that. So I walk up to booth number 15. The fella on booth number 14 is like having a art party. He's like looking around like, we got any answers. So I'm in this room full of other booths and other people doing the tests that they're doing. It's kind of like the Hunger Games, but the room is smaller than the island. I wiggle my mouse and it you know, because that's what you do, isn't it? Like that's how computers work, like wiggle the mouse and something will happen. It says like you can have a practice session or whatever. I skimmed over that, to be honest, because I was kind of like, I just want to do it because currently right now I am forgetting the stopping distances. So I was answering these questions, I was like, okay, this is going well, you know, cool, kept on looking at the time and thinking like, that's fine, okay, I've got plenty of time, I've got like 57 minutes or something to do it. And then the questions start getting harder. And I come across one question, which was something like, if you come across a small child at the side of the road who is not breathing, and you need to give them like mouth to mouth, should you breathe sharply, heavily, fastly, no, quickly, or gently? Now, I first of all thought, right, okay, probably, you know, heavily because you want to get the air back into the lungs so not breathing. Then I thought, no, because if you do that then you might blow into them too much and they might like, the lungs might like explode or something. So I thought, you know, shit, I don't know this one. So I decided to flag the question. So you can basically click a thing that says flag and it comes up at the end. So you do all the other questions and then you go back to the flagged ones at the end. I carried on going through. I think for about the next 4 questions, I flagged every single one. I got into a bit of a habit of flagging questions then, and probably flagged at least half of them and thought, it's alright, I'll do that later. That was a crap idea because then I answered all the easy ones, got to the end, had about 20 questions to do. So, we go back to the small child not breathing at the side of the road. I thought, you know, excuse me, Mr. Driving Instructor, not once have you ever bloody found me a non-breathing child at the side of my road and showed me what I should do and how I should give mouth to mouth. Like, what am I paying you for? So I came to the conclusion that sharply, like that's just like you know, how can you, how do you breathe sharply? I don't understand that. Heavily, you're gonna get out of breath, mate, and you'll be the one they've got to then, because once you resuscitate them, they've got to then give you mouth to mouth and get you back to, it's just a vicious circle, you know, gonna be on and on all night, you'll be there all day. I've always been told that when you breathe quickly, you die, or something along those lines. There was genuinely one of the answers was give them a cigarette. I was like, oh right, okay, so yeah, I do have about 0.5 brain cells, but if I pull up at the side of the road and there's been a massive accident and everyone's dying, I ain't gonna go up to the mother of the dying son and say, babe, chill out, mate. Everything's gonna be okay. Do you want a fag? No. Anyone with a brain, or anyone without a brain, for that matter, would probably know that that is not what you do when the other options are like, call an ambulance, you know, steer clear of the accident in case you put yourself at risk, which is a bit of a shit thing to do, but you know, still a plausible answer. But give them a cigarette. Where in anyone's mind would that be the plausible answer, or the right answer, or the, you know, the medical thing to do? I don't know first aid. I ain't got a clue. But I know that, you know, you probably shouldn't give them a cigarette. So I carry on with my questions, obviously. I get to the end, I double check every single question, I go through them all again, and I'm like, you know what, I've done so poo on this. I genuinely thought, I'm not gonna be able to do this. At the start I was like, yeah, that's really easy. And then as I flagged up more and more questions and got to the end and decided to just guess half of them, I was like, I'm leaving here not having a clue what I am doing.